All right, here we go. We are recording video and audio, just double checking. All right. Hello and welcome, everybody, to today's episode of the Angelic Footprints podcast. I have a very special guest with me, and her name is Ramona Crabtree-Falkner, and she is a transformational empowerment coach. She's a retreat leader and corporate. Let me say that again. She is a retreat leader and corporate mindfulness facilitator. With over 2 decades in holistic wellness, she helps professional women move beyond burnout, overwhelm, and self doubt, guiding them to reclaim their energy, realign with purpose, and rise empowered both in life and in work. What an awesome purpose in life, Ramona. Thank you so much for being here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for the invitation to be here. I find that sharing our stories is so important, right? Because it allows others to feel seen because we can see reflections in one another. And so I really value these opportunities to share in story and in these experiences on on podcasts. So thank you for that. So I'm a 20-year holistic wellness facilitator. I started my career out as a massage therapist and eventually moved into yoga teaching. And it was through that journey that I began to really connect to my gifts and my abilities as an energy worker. And ultimately, it just opened up so much in my life that I didn't even know was in the background. And I think that that is it's such a gift to have had the opportunities for awakening and reopening and just really connecting to my authentic self and my authentic purpose on this planet. And it's interesting because as you're going along, you think, okay, this is it, this is the thing, and you're doing the thing, and then it evolves, and then it evolves, and then it evolves, and this is just, I think, part of the life experience, right? Is we have this opportunity to peel back layers, and become more and more connected to that authentic knowing and guidance and ultimately returning home.
I love that. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And I believe your business is called Authentic Life. Did I get that right?
Yeah, it's Authentic Life Journey is my business name. It's actually the, business name that I evolved into. My original company name was a different name, and then when I started really connecting to my authentic self and getting to know her and falling in love with her and nurturing her, the name Authentic Life Journey was born, and that was 9 years ago, and the evolution of that, was I had visions of what it is I was wanting it to be, and I was being guided for it to be, and where it is now is so much more than that original vision. Yeah.
I love that. And being authentic, it makes us feel true to who we are. And it's almost like saying to the world, this is who I am. And
Yeah.
if you are on the same page as me, absolutely connect with me. I love that. Thank you for sharing,
Yeah.
Ramona. I noticed that one of the reasons, obviously, that you're here is that you've had some angelic experiences.
Mhm.
Would you like to tell us a little bit about that, please?
Sure. I mean, I've had, several I work with the angelic realm, in my ceremonies, in my energy work, in my sound healing. But, the ignition of that connection, occurred in a traumatic event. So, when I was in college, I was bartending at, a pool hall that was not far from my college, and we, one night were robbed. And in that scenario, there was a traumatic event. My boss was killed, and we were in the
Oh,
same room. So, in all honesty, that could have been it. And to be honest, I thought it was. There was a moment in that experience where I thought, "Oh, okay, so this is it. Like, I've done everything I'm supposed to do in life." I was really, really, really disconnected at that point in time in my life from spirit, from belief, from any kind of connection to higher power. I really just had abandoned it because there was some history in my childhood around uh, religion that just kind of turned me off from believing. So as I had some childhood experiences around religion that just really shut my heart down, shut my beliefs down, and put me in a place of questioning everything. And so fast forward to 24 years old, this night in the pool hall, and this experience happening where I was done, right? I thought it was over, and I came through it. I wasn't done. There was still more to do. So what I can say to you is that it wasn't in that moment that I really had the experience with the angelic realm. It was in the days after. So in the days after this very transformational, impactful experience in my life, I was having dreams of the experience. I would dream I was in it again. And there was one night where I was in this dream and I wasn't down inside of it, I was up above it. And I was looking down. And it was like I was looking down from a vantage point where it was catty corner. So like I was down in a corner and the vision that I was having was from above. And in this dream, because you're questioning when you have these kinds of events, when someone that you cared for was taken for no reason, you question, "Why am I still here?" And
you
so yeah, so it was a few nights later, I can't remember exactly, but I remember this dream very vividly, and so I'm at this vantage point, I'm looking down, I don't see everything else is blurred out. All I see is me down in the corner with my head down and my hands over my head, and then suddenly I see these wings wrap around me.
that's beautiful. Oh, goodness. Tell me, please, tell us more about these
Yeah,
beautiful wings being wrapped around you.
yeah. So it really felt like I was just being held in that moment. What I came to find out much time later, when I had to eventually testify in a trial for this event, is that the person that I saw that night is not the person that committed the murder. So
Right.
all of a sudden, I was like, "Oh, I wasn't seen." Like, there was this aha moment when I found this information out a year and a half, 2 years later, 3 years later, I can't even remember, that I was like, I was never seen by that person because there was 3
You were
people there.
protected.
Mhm, mhm. And for many years, I thought, "Oh, I'm still here because I was supposed to have my son." Like, your rational brain tries to make sense of things, right? And it wasn't until I started the work that I'm doing now, where I opened this yoga studio and then was introduced to, oracle cards and connecting to angels, and then I started really intentionally connecting. So I know that that night, that moment, that experience, that dream the days later, that aha that I had years later, it was my call home to remember that I'm more than just this physical being. And then the things that unfolded beyond that are why now I I can have an experience connecting to the angelic realm because they work beside me, they support me in every part of my life. And what I can say about that is that when you harness that ability, when you really lean into connecting to that angelic realm, the messages that come in, the guidance that you receive, it's you don't feel you're alone anymore, and it's palatable for me as a clairsentient, a feeler. I when I call it in, it's here. Like right now, my skin is tingling because I know that because I'm having this conversation, my support, my team, my guides, my angelic beings that work alongside of me, the archangels that I call in whenever I hold sacred space, they're here because this is happening. And they're always around. They're just really making themselves present right now. Because when I tell the story of that
I get it.
robbery, yeah, when I tell the story of that robbery, like, there's always that moment for the tears to come, and they sit right behind my eyes now because I know I'm not there, and really it's just the energetic memory of it and the heartbreak of it, right? And so I can share the story without it breaking me now. And that's because I have chosen to step into my purpose. I've chosen to step on path. And I know without a doubt that that night was my opportunity to choose that. And it wasn't till
Yeah.
years later that I really came into my gifts. But what I can tell you is that without that night, I don't know that I would have stepped into them.
Yeah. It was like the catalyst, and you're not the
Mhm,
first one to tell me that, and I've had that
mhm,
myself with my own catalyst, and like you, it took years to really appreciate what happened at that
mhm.
particular event, and I think we're in the similar boat. We still have more work to do. We still have
Yeah.
messages and healing
Mhm,
and
mhm.
a way of
Purpose.
helping others
Mhm.
that can help them get that realization and help them move beyond just that 3D
Yeah.
experience that we're having right now. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. I'd say you've already shared the next question because the next question is, how has that influenced your life? Is there anything more that you could add about that question? How has that influenced your life?
Well, I mean, I believe that my company is Authentic Life Journey for a reason. So authenticity is absolutely a huge proponent of what it is that I teach. Is that when we can live from that space of authenticity, of really knowing who we are and honoring who we are, then we have the ability to create a life that is an alignment for our higher purpose. And the journey is that it's an ever evolving experience. There's no finish line except for the exit out of life. So as long as I'm living, I am continuing to evolve. I'm continuing to grow. I'm continuing to wake up those parts of myself that I chose to be in this form to remember. And so I'm a highly sensitive being, and I own that, and I allow it, and when things are heavy, I let them be heavy, and when they're light, I ride into that lightness. I ride the waves of the emotions because without it, then I can't heal, and so the connection with the higher realm and with the angelic realm specifically, because I believe that I come from that realm. Because at the end of the day, we all come in with specific, energetic imprints, and so I believe that the realm that I'm born from is the angelic. There have been healing sessions that I've received where I've actually felt my wings in between my shoulder blades come out. I've had healers tell me they've seen them. So, it's highly possible that that night was me. I don't know. But I know that it's
Well,
angelic, and I know that it yeah.
I guess you won't know until you get back upstairs and say, Hello,
Mhm.
what was all of that about? Tell me what was in that little contract that you
Yeah.
got me to sign before I came downstairs and had the life as Ramona. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, and I love that, and I hope our listeners get to have a feel of what that means for them as well in terms of what is your purpose? I think there are so many people who feel so lost in life
Mhm.
and don't know what that is. And it can take many forms. And as you just said, it can evolve over time. It doesn't have to stay static. And just as we learn, so does our life evolve. And as long as we're that authentic self, then that will happen naturally.
Mhm.
Ramona, tell me, do you have something that you would like to share with our listeners in terms of a book or a special offer or something that you're working on at the moment that you feel might be of benefit that you'd like to let our listeners know about?
Oh, I have so many things. Being in business for as long as I have, there's so many things. I did write a book. It's called Inspirational Journeys: Awakening the Soul, and my story of that night is the opener of that book. So that might be a really good place to start to get to know me. And I'm a transformational empowerment coach, so my intention is to help women step into that realignment and that purpose and to rise into their into their authentic self.
Lovely. Well, if you feel at all drawn, check out Ramona's book online. Usual sources, I'm sure Amazon and various other places will have it. Would that be right?
Yeah, it's on Amazon, yes, absolutely.
It's on Amazon? Yeah. Check out Inspirational Journeys and her story, Ramona's story of her own awakening. If people want to connect with you, Ramona, can you share with us how they might be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is authenticlifejourney.com, and have all of everything I do there. I offer transformational women's retreats and the empowerment coaching, and you always get a free call with me so that we can have a discussion and just see if we're aligned, because that's really, really important to me. As a coach and someone who has hired coaches, I learned a lot about what I don't want to do. And one of the big things that is truly aligned in my heart is that whomever it is that I'm working with, we are on the same frequency and we're working together to bring the transformation that they are envisioning for their life.
Yeah, beautiful. I think, whether we click with someone is so important for getting to that end result, for being able to achieve those goals. And I love that. Thank you. Are there
Hmm.
any additional thoughts that you'd like to share before we finish up today?
Well, my tagline is reclaim your energy, align with purpose, and rise empowered. And I really feel like that encompasses exactly what my heart wants for everyone, is when you can remember and you can intentionally be in your life, you can center back into your purpose and let everything that you're creating really move your life forward with intention. And ultimately, you feel empowered. You don't feel like you're just living someone else's ideals for you.
Thank you. I love that empowerment word. It's my word as well. And, when we feel empowered, we feel much more confident within ourselves and confident that we can achieve what we're setting out to achieve. So, thank you very much. Ramona, it's been such a pleasure to have you on the show today. Thank you for being with us. In the meantime, for all our listeners, if you found this episode valuable, please share information about the show with 3 people who you believe would find it beneficial. If you enjoyed the show, please consider leaving a 5-star review on the platform where you are listening. Until the next episode, blessings, and may your life be filled with hope and inspiration.